Hindrichs here again from Proactive Health Style. Welcome back to part 2 of adrenal fatigue. In this part, we'll look at what's happening inside the body when our adrenals are being overtaxed. Again, my little disclaimer, none of the information in this video series is meant to diagnose, prescribe, or advise. First off, we talked about the roller coaster of blood sugar. So blood sugar is really being affected when we have a high cortisol level. What happens is normally our blood sugar is being balanced with insulin and glucagon. When we have something to eat, that big meal that you have, you're breaking down sugars in the gut, and you don't want that sugar to go flooding into the bloodstream because basically you dropped it in value of it. And so the body, in its wisdom, shunts all that sugar into the liver and stores it there, and then these other two hormones, insulin and glucagon, kind of regulate blood sugar for the body's need. Now, blood sugar is that really interesting thing with glucose. It gives a steady source of energy to cells. Too little glucose and the cells starve. Too much glucose and you're going to poison them. So we have to have this really exact regulation. And that's what normally insulin and glucagon do. But when the body's stressed out or in that fight or flight response, the large muscles of the body need that sugar for energy so they can do their work. And so this is where cortisol works with insulin and glucagon to increase the supply of glucose for the cells. So that increase in glucose is causing an increase in blood sugar. That increase in blood sugar causes an increase in insulin. So insulin kind of goes up to the cell and knocks on the cell and says, hey, let some sugar in here. So insulin enables sugar to enter the cell. As time goes on and those cortisol levels remain high, the body's saying, hey, I need more sugar, I need more sugar, I need more sugar, like fight or flight, fight or flight. We need that energy just to keep going. And so it starts converting fats and carbs and proteins into glucose as well. And eventually you've got so much sugar going in the body and the insulin's getting so high and the cells are going, we're not using anything, just stop. And so that's what happens. That's when we start with this insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is the first stage before diabetes. So what happens then is all this excess sugar now can get converted into fat instead. And you know where it's going to store? Right around the middle. It's that spare tire. It's not necessarily overeating. A lot of times it's the body protecting itself, trying to store away all of that sugar. And with this constant demands on our hormones, on the insulin, the production for insulin, the pancreas gets quite stressed out. And that's where you end up with diabetes. So you have a long-term hyperglycemia, high blood sugars. So we want to avoid that. As adrenal fatigue progresses, your cortisol is going down, and without that cortisol, you're not kind of triggering the release for blood sugar, and so you end up with hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar. And that's where you end up kind of shaky and confused, grumpy, headachy, sweaty, hungry. I know my husband, when he gets hypoglycemic, I know he needs something to eat. He's a lovely, lovely guy. And as soon as he gets grumpy, it's just like, okay, honey, have something to eat. And he's done. His grumpiness goes away. So when you see somebody grumpy, kind of get hypoglycemia too. The other thing we want to look at is immunity. So cortisol is also affecting our immune system. Normally, we have a normal balance of cortisol and DHE. They work together to keep a nice, even inflammatory response. Cortisol is suppressing our immune system, and DHA makes it work. We want to make sure we don't have any autoimmune stuff going on with the immune system going over time, but we also want to catch anything that could harm us, right? So you want to have that constant balance going on. And with a healthy system, that's what we have. But when we have too much cortisol, circulating, that suppresses the immune system. Basically, the body's saying, hey, I have to run here, and I can't run if I have a snotty nose. So our response to infection is like that snotty nose, and you feel like this, and you have to run very far when you feel like that. So cortisol is going to suppress the immune system, suppress the response to pathogens so that you can run or you can fight. The other thing that's going to happen here is you're going to have some respiratory functions going to be affected as well. So you think of that suppression immunity that we just saw and apply that to the respiratory system. You think of the immune response we just saw and how that's suppressing immunity. Now apply that to the respiratory system. As I breathe in and out, I'm taking in all this air around me, all these potential pathogens, viruses, etc., coming right into my respiratory tract. So as my adrenals get tired, I'm going to have more respiratory infections and slow recovery. Have you ever noticed how that person, those superheroes that we all know, kind of go through crisis after crisis after crisis of heavy workload, this is going on, that's going on, it's just like, wow, how do we handle that? And as soon as they have a chance to relax, they get sick, it's usually a cold, or the holiday cold. Anybody here ever had a holiday cold before? You know, I think that's kind of a classic. And we tend to be slower to recover as well. The really serious thing here is that low cortisol is going to affect fetal lung development. So whenever mommy's not healthy and mommy's too stressed out, we're affecting how baby's going to develop too. So we really want to watch out for pregnant women and make sure they're not getting stressed out because we're affecting baby. The other area you want to look at is the liver. Now the liver is a marvelous organ that's responsible for so many functions in the body. But what happens when we have that high insulin due to the high cortisol? That insulin inhibits glutathione. And glutathione, you may have heard of, is the master antioxidant. It's cleaning everything up, mopping up those free radicals. It's an incredible cleanup. And it allows the liver to do its job. But when we inhibit that glutathione, the liver gets kind of sluggish and it can't do what it's supposed to do. So we end up with what's called fatty liver, all that sugar that's being stored and converted to fat, etc. We end up with fatty liver, and fatty liver is one of the Fab Four, not renals, one of the Fab Four for death. So we do want to avoid that fatty liver. The other thing that's going to be affected is our thyroid. Now this is a really interesting one when we start to talk about thyroid. First off, let's talk about what our thyroid does for us. When our thyroid is healthy, we're going to feel energized, we feel younger, we feel kind of sexy, our hair is just glossy and glowing, our skin is smooth, we have this feeling of well-being, you're kind of on top of the world, you get a good sound sleep, you're breathing easy, you can regulate your body temperature, you're not freezing all the time, you just feel kind of good, and you've got regular elimination. Mind and memory are sharp. When our thyroid's not working so hot, that's when you've got a lot of constipation, okay, which means you're not getting rid of toxins from your body, slow metabolism, you feel kind of old and over 40, you get poor sleep, a lot of brain fog in there. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Feeling cold, and this is one I get all the time, is I'm cold all the time. You know, we're going to a place and I've got a blanket on, and I want to sit by the fire. So, yeah, being cold is again, that's a thyroid function, is temperature regulation. So why? Why do the adrenals affect the thyroid? So this is where we're just going to do a little bit of science around the thyroid. It's pretty interesting. So 93% of thyroid hormone is T4. And that T4 needs to be changed into T3, okay? So and that change happens in the liver in the presence of certain enzymes. When we have cortisol flowing in too high a level around the bloodstream and affecting the liver, it inhibits the enzyme that does the conversion from T4 to T3. So you've gone from 93% of T4 that was supposed to convert into T3, which is the active form, not able to, okay, so not all of it's getting converted to T3. The next thing that's happening is the thyroid receptor sites on the cell wall. So any hormone, like outside of the steroid hormones, those hormones have to go up to the cell and kind of knock to get in and have their activity done. And in this case, what's happening is cortisol is blocking those sites, so the hormone just can't get into the cell. I might have a lot of T3, but can't get in. The next thing it does, it inhibits thyroid stimulating hormone from the pituitary. So normally the pituitary sends out TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormone, that causes the thyroid to release more T4, but it gets inhibited. So it's not creating as much T4 to get converted into T3. And then the final one is the circulating protein, and we're pulling out proteins and sugars, and protein and carbs and fats to be converted into sugars, while we're losing some of those proteins that normally bind to T3, which stabilizes the T3 and allows it to go in. So we've got 5 different ways that we're getting the thyroid is being affected. So wisdom tells us then is that we should probably treat the adrenals before we treat the thyroid. So something to keep in mind if you have non-thyroid problems. Let's take a look at your adrenals too. Next, the digestive issues. Now this is one I hear about all the time. Who do you not know that doesn't have bloating or indigestion or some sort of digestive issue, especially people that are super busy? And we have that type A personality where somebody's always stressed out and having ulcers. Well, this is why. When we have that high circulating cortisol, again, in the fight or flight response, the body goes, whoa, digestion not necessary, don't really need that. Immunity not really necessary, not need to fight, etc. That's where the body's trying to go. The other thing that's going to be doing is making the blood thicker. Now, sounds kind of weird at first, but think about it. If you're in the fight, flight, or freeze response, and if you're going for the fight with some bear that's come out of the woods, if you get caught, you don't want to bleed to death, so your blood gets thicker to decrease the amount of bleeding. That thicker blood is not bleeding out, it's circulating through your system, and that thick blood is causing some vascular damage, and that vascular damage leads to arterial sclerosis, which is going to lead to hypertension. And that hypertension, that high blood pressure is sustained over time, makes the heart work harder, causes heart disease, and eventually we end up with heart palpitations and heart dysrhythmias. So a lot of heart problems, and heart disease is one of the other fat fours. So we're getting our fatty liver, and we're getting heart disease here, and we're also getting obesity from the sugars. So that was the other one. So stress is a killer, make no mistake. And this is why we really want to look at it. We want to look at what's happening to the adrenals with stress. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the body, and we're going to look at some testing that you can do at home, and the testing that you would have done in the lab, and then we're going to look at some solutions, because I love having solutions for problems, and the truth is, we can be healthy. Thank you.